Kill all the noise. Let's get into it. Give me your idea Chelsea starting lineup for the 2023-2024 season.
Yes.
Give it to me right now.
Okay.
Give it to me.
So I understand.
Sensibly and realistically.
On.
So
yeah,
sensibly based off, imagining we buy a few players in the summer, I'm gonna call a flag on the play if I feel like embellishing our opportunity here, but give it to me.
Okay, so I say we'll do a back four because that's what we've been playing over the last over the last, I don't know, couple of weeks or so. So in goal, I'm sorry to say this, Kepa out. I want Edouard Mendy. Edouard Mendy is going to regain his form. I know he's not very good with his feet, but we will. I think with the team around him, with Thiago Silva, we'll make that happen. So Edouard Mendy in goal. Okay. Reece James, right back, best right back in the history of football. Just kidding. Best right back in the league, best right back in Europe. Thiago Silva for now, but it's going to be replaced by Wesley Fofana. Badia Shield in partnership, left-footed center back, right left back Ben Chilwell. That's his sort of natural position. He tends to play very well in that, and they do a really good job of sliding to a back three and letting either one of those right backs go forward. So I really love that. Okay, midfield. We'll go with a midfield three, but we can also go with a midfield pivot, double pivot, and get some players for it. But we'll do three. N'Golo Kante, Enzo Fernandez, and Mateo Kovacic, or Mason Mount. And I'll talk maybe a couple of seconds about that. I think Mason Mount, you look at him when he played very well with the England squad, he was playing sort of in that number 8 position where it was Declan Rice as a 6, and it was Mason Mount and Jude Bellingham running in the middle. I think that's his ideal position. He needs to regain some form as well, but playing him up top, he just doesn't have the movement and the directness that you would want from an attacker. So I would say you have him play deeper. So if he's playing deeper, I would go with him. I would go with Mount, Enzo, and N'Golo. And then top front three, Modric. Oh my God. This guy is going to tear it up. I'm calling it right now. He's going to tear it up. I'm anticipating, 15 goals a season type of player with like 10 to 12 assists. I think he is that kind of guy. He's that kind of work ethic, and and he wants it. He's got neck tats, so he's a baller. And then you have, okay, striker. This is where I'm torn. Okay, we'll do the other side. The other side is either Sterling or Noni.
I'm so excited to see what Nani can do.
100%. That's another one of my Nigerian brothers. I want to see what he can do. Yeah.
Am I allowed to say he's my Nigerian brother too? Can I say that?
Go for it. We're all Nigerian brothers. Brooks,
that's my Nigerian brother.
And then striker, this is where I'm torn. Okay. But I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say Nkunku, and we'll see if he can actually play up top by himself. There's Joao Felix that can play, of course, on left or right. There's Kai Havertz that hopefully can play in a 10 role. We'll see how that works. Or with 2 up top. But I'm really interested in seeing Nkunku play up top, because historically at Leipzig, he's been bombing in from midfield. And then once he started scoring a ton of goals, he got sort of moved up forward. He was doing very well, but I don't know if that's his natural position. So especially with Chelsea's lack of goal scoring over the last 2 or 3 years, I'm not sure if we need to bring in like a top bona fide striker. But I think for now, that's going to be my starting 11. And I know I rambled a bit, so let's just recap. Goal, Edouard Mendy. Defense is Reece James, Fafana, Badiashile, and Chilwell. Midfield would be, I'll go with Conte, Enzo, and Mount. Left is Modric. Right is Noni, and up top Nkunku.
It's a beautiful lineup. That's a beautiful lineup. Like I'm sitting here. I took notes. I'm looking at your lineup, brother. I'm looking at it and I'm trying to think, what would I do differently? And honestly, like Mendy in goal, sure, no problem. I feel like and this is where it gets tricky for me. So like the back line looks good. Like Silva signed an extension, keep him around. He's one of the best defenders in the league, like top 3. Him and the French boy, I think they play so well together because he's fluent in French, and he just be talking that French to him all game. See if we play. I don't know how, but he's speaking, because I looked at it, I'm like, bro's really balling out, and he's like running for Thiago, and I'm like, he I don't think he speaks English. Does he speak English? And I'm like, well, he was the captain of PSG on the other side, so I'm like, he doesn't need to speak English. He got a father figure that's speaking to him in his native language with a Brazilian dialect. You know what I mean? So the back line looks solid. If we got Enzo Fernandez, that's solid. Mason Mount playing on the other side. So it's the Conte part where I'm like, okay, yeah, he's been our best player for one of our best players, and the best player definitely in our Champions League run. Like man of the match performance, but I don't know if he got player of the tournament. But I don't know what he's going to look like coming back. And I'm a big advocate for Declan Rice. So I'm saying if Conte can't recover, and there's rumors that you could get Declan Rice for about 75 to 80. I know the British tax is real. But if we got enough money and we could get Enzo and my man Declan, that's the only difference I'm making. If Conte can't come back good, Enzo, Declan, Mason Mount in the midfield. And then, I mean, as far as talent goes, Nkunku, he got to play that false 9. Mudrik's doing his thing. I mean, I've only seen one highlight in one game. I'm talking about his Champions League against Celtic and then him playing against Liverpool. That's what that's all I'm going off of. Let him play on the left. And then I love, I don't know. I'm already a fan of Nani. I've never seen him play a game a day in my life. I've just been watching the interviews and reading the tabloids. And I'm like, bro, I'm a fan. Right. I'm getting your jersey already. I know nothing about you. I'm getting your jersey in the 2023-24. So I'd like to see him also be given a substantial amount of time to make that right flank his own and leave it at that. Like, don't, give him like a run of 10, 15 games and let's see what can happen. And, and that's my only, that's all I'm adding to it is basically Declan Rice in the event that Conte can't come back and be that same powerhouse, that workhorse, that little make runs last minute and score crazy goals, make last ditch efforts before they penetrate the back line, take a yellow card if it's necessary, like just all around team player, world warrior. But, if he can't come back, go get Declan. I'm sure there's better players. I'm also just a fan of Declan. So go get Dex, and that's all I can really say.
Yeah, Brooks, before you jump in, I wanted to say as well, I am a fan of Declan Rice. However, I don't know if Declan Rice is worth the price. Number one.
Whew. I said the same thing as you a couple weeks ago. Blaine had the same reaction.
Yeah, he's not. He's not worth the price, but it's not my money. And if he is a man for the job, but that role, and that man is not an 80 million job. It's like 80 million is for an attacking player that makes contributions in the form of assist, or end product finishing. A guy that's screening for the back line and occasionally making a run up or getting a good pass in. Like, you're one of the best in your position, but you're not worth 80K. And you'll never live up to that price tag. You'll never. It's just the role's not sexy enough to live up to that price tag.
So how about this then? like we think about this, is it then worth trying to get a a less expensive player in that number 6 position and then making a bigger splash for someone like Jude Bellingham?
Bruh.